Good evening. On the third day of 2024, the number of fireworks-related injuries climbs to 557. In an advisory on Wednesday, the Department of Health records 114 new cases of fireworks-related injuries. According to the DOH, the youngest case is a 10-month-old baby from the National Capital Region whose right eye was injured by quitties lit inside their home. Meanwhile, the oldest case recorded so far is a 77-year-old male from the Ilocos region. The man sustained burns from a whistle bomb launched by someone else within their home. DOH says 10 individuals were hospitalized due to their injuries. It adds that a majority of the new cases were due to legal fireworks and occurred at home and in the streets. Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel is set to file before the Supreme Court a petition questioning the 2024 national budget. In a press conference on Wednesday, Pimentel says he will also ask the High Court to look into the alleged unconstitutional increase made by Congress under the unprogrammed allocations for the present year.
I'm already talking to a member of the House, and he also agrees with my position. And as a matter of fact, malapit ko na matapos yung outline namin of the reasons why the additional 450 billion pesos made by Congress to the level of the unprogrammed appropriations as proposed by the President is unconstitutional.
The minority leader refuses to name the House lawmaker he is in contact with, but he repeatedly stresses that they just need more time to iron out their arguments. Asked why there is a need to raise the matter before the Supreme Court, Pimentel emphasizes that this move is born out of a goal to uphold the country's highest law.
More than the budget na ito, it's respecting the Constitution. From my memory, this is the third year in a row na parang naabuso na yung unprogrammed appropriations. If we do not stop this practice, aabusuhin na po talaga. So aabusuhin yung practice, ang masama, unconstitutional pa yung practice na yun.
Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel downplays reports on the arrival of investigators from the International Criminal Court in the Philippines. In a briefing, Pimentel reaffirms that he sees nothing objectionable with the issue. He says his information regarding the arrival was based from what he heard from former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque.
Ang knowledge ko dyan also coming from Secretary Harry Roque. Yun lang, yung nababasa ko lang at napanood ko. Pero my point is, ano sama nun? So what?
The Senate Minority Leader suggests that if investigators are indeed in the country, they should coordinate with the government and with the Commission on Human Rights to gather data on human rights complaints. He adds that their presence should be felt by the government to confirm if they are doing an honest-to-goodness investigation.
Then dapat kausapin nilang Commission on Human Rights, di ba? On human rights complaints. So, impossible na hindi sila maramdaman if they are doing an honest-to-goodness investigation. Dapat maramdaman sila ng gobyerno. So, kung walang ganyan, that looks like wala pa sila rito. Although ako personally, I find nothing objectionable kung nandito na sila.
The Taguig city government says the Makati city government is allegedly deceiving the public when it announced that health centers in Embo barangays had to be closed due to their expired license to operate. The Makati city government earlier announced that it would be shutting down its health centers and lying-in clinics in the 10 Embo barangays since their license to operate had already expired. But the Taguig city government on Wednesday says health centers do not need a license to operate unless it is a registered primary care facility. It adds that there is only one registered primary care facility in Embo with a valid 3-year license still in effect. According to the Taguig LGU, Makati's closure of health centers meant denying Embo residents in Taguig crucial health services. In a separate post, the Taguig LGU says it will temporarily provide free teleconsultations for Embo residents, which includes free medical checkups, referrals, prescriptions, and laboratory requests. For its part, the Makati City Government said the Taguig City Government had known for quite some time that the Embo health centers would close and a license to operate such is required. Makati City Administrator Claro Certeza says Taguig LGU was even reminded of the fact through a letter from the Metro Manila Center for Health Development in November 2023. Certeza also explains that a license to operate is needed for facilities that provide diagnostic services, which he says were provided by Makati to Embo health centers. State volcanologists remind residents near Mt Bulusan in Sorsogon province to remain cautious of potential mudflows or lahar due to the volcano's heightened activity. Phivolcs says that as of 9 a.m. on January 3, 116 volcanic earthquakes have been recorded since December 29. In light of this development, Phivolcs reminds the public not to enter the 4-kilometer radius permanent danger zone and to be vigilant in the 2-kilometer extended danger zone. Phivolcs also warns people living within the valleys and along the rivers against sediment-laden stream flows and lahars should a phreatic eruption occur. The agency describes lahars as mixtures of volcanic debris, sediment, and water that flow down a volcano slope through rivers and channels in the event of heavy and prolonged rainfall. On Tuesday, January 2, state volcanologists raised Alert Level 1 over Mt Bulusan after detecting an increase in the volcano's seismic activity. The State Weather Bureau is set to use 4 new names for tropical cyclones that will enter the Philippine area of responsibility this year. Pagasa earlier retired the tropical cyclone names Embo, Quinta, Rolly, and Ulysses from the 2020 list. The 4 retired tropical cyclone names will be replaced with Aghon, Kerubin, Romina, and Upang in the 2024 set of storm names. According to Pagasa, the criteria for retiring tropical cyclone names includes a death toll of at least 300 people or at least 1 billion pesos worth of damage to agriculture and infrastructure. Currently, there are 25 names of tropical cyclones in accordance with the letters of the alphabet, while 10 auxiliary names will be used when the number of storms exceeds 25. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Death toll in massive New Year's Day quake in Japan rises to 64. Fireworks-related injuries rise to 557 with 114 new cases. And Phivolcs reminds residents near Mt Bulusan in Sorsogon province to remain cautious of lahar due to the volcano's heightened activity. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.